75 days of discipline and how it went for me. I'll share today. First of all, when I started the 75 days of discipline, it was not about a challenge of very rigid approach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually tried that. You know that I started my 75 days 4 times. Before, I invited all of you on the journey and I actually posted on social media day 1. I started 4 times. Imagine that. Every time I started, I ended up restarting again because I didn't sustain it. And what I will share is that I started not because I wanted one goal of, weight loss or specific body shape changes or the amount of books I wanted to read or anything else. The only reason why I went for the 75 days was about finding ways in life on how to make myself as my number one priority. Because leading up to that moment, there were so many circumstances in my life that happened with my family, with health, finances, starting and ending, changes in my job, in my company. There was so much heaviness that I lost track of prioritizing me. And I was prioritizing myself for everyone except for saying, hey, what am I doing for me to take care of me? So with that being said, when I restarted for the 5th time, the first 4 failed, and then I started for the 5th time, I actually minimized the amount of priorities I set for myself. And the most important for me was to discipline myself through self-love. Not through punishment, not through pushing myself and saying, I have to do this like heavy thing, I don't want to do it, but I have to. It was not that. It was about self-love and reminding myself what it means to prioritize yourself and discipline yourself from a place of loving yourself. So with that being said, my goals were to move every day, whether I did a dance class, a 10,000 steps I walked, I exercised at home. I found really fun. It's a dopamine steps exercise program. Whether I did that, whether I did yoga, Pilates, whatever I did that day, there was priority that needed to be is that I create space for movement and exercise for myself. Nurturing food 80% of the time. We're humans, we're not robots, we're not perfect. I do not believe in 100% perfection. I believe in excellence. 80% of the time, nurturing great food for my body. The other 20 could be anything, right? And anything came in different times and different settings. So nurturing food, hydration and sleep, meditation, that was important for me. So taking care of my body through self-love and ensuring that I do what my body needed to be successful. Meditation to take care of my mental health and give myself space to be and actually start hearing myself. Meditation is such a powerful tool that if it is used consistently and properly, it gives you space where you can hear yourself. And if you have not heard yourself in a long time, pause for a second for that. So with that being said, 75 days, it started, imagine that you take one sticky off the wall and you have 74 to go, 73 to go, 72. I think there was a moment when I was at day 10 and I looked at the other 65 days to go and I was like, wow, this is heavy. There's so much. How will I sustain it? Will I make it? Makes me emotional a little bit because I was questioning myself. And how often we question ourselves, right? We set the goal and circumstances are not going with us, they're going against us. Maybe it is the financial goal that you set for yourself, or you want to move up in your career or with your health or relationships. You want to improve a relationship or start a new or end relationship that doesn't serve you well, right? Whatever that is, as we start making steps towards achieving that goal, we reach a moment where it looks so heavy to keep going. But I said to myself that there are a lot of times I've given up in the moment when I said, I'm going to do this, and then I didn't because something got in the way, right? And if nobody's watching, it's just you, yourself, and I, right? Me, myself, and I. So when nobody's watching, you find yourself in a place that you just give up, and that's what happens. And for me, and nobody knows that you've given up except for you. And when you give up on yourself so many times, you know what happens? You stop respecting your word to yourself. And then maybe you say, oh, I am somebody who is known to be that if I said something, I'm going to do it. But do you do it for you every single time? Or do you do it for people because people see it? So there is a differentiator. So for me, I remember that day. It was day 10. I was looking 65 days left. And it was so heavy. I remember I was having a really hard day as well. And then I said, you know what? I said to myself that I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go for 5 minutes, get on my treadmill, and I'm going to walk. And that's what I'm going to do. And if today all I could do is 5 minutes on that treadmill, then that's going to be 5 minutes on that treadmill. But I'll say to myself that I kept the promise of moving my body. And when I'm going to eat my dinner, I'm going to plate it the way that it's going to nurture my body. And then I'm going to go to sleep at 10 p.m. And maybe I will, at that time I was posting on social media every single day how each day was going. And maybe this day I'm not going to post anything. I'm just going to go to sleep and post the next day. I gave myself permission to still accomplish what I said I'm going to do for me, but accomplish it through self-love and self-care. And that was a big moment and a shift for me to say, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. And then I had people ask me questions about this challenge. I also had moments when randomly people were running into me at my workplace, in my friend group, and literally saying things to me like, hey, I did not want to go exercise. But then I thought, man, if Aliona can do it, I can do it. Or someone said like, I wanted to eat that burger. And then I thought of you and I actually ate a salad instead. Imagine that there were people, and there was one week when 4 people said very similar things to me, that they didn't give up on something because of what I was doing. I'm way emotional today, but I will share that this is the highest compliment for me in my life, because I live every day through my personal purpose, which is to experience this life fully, to inspire other people, and to be fulfilled. And that inspiring people is one of the key drivers for me in a lot of things that I do. So when people said that they were inspired by seeing my challenge and me not giving up, of course it gave me this wind beneath my wings to keep moving forward. And I kept moving forward. What I've recognized is that 75 days later, what changed for me? Interestingly enough, some people might have think that, like often when people look at this kind of challenges, they say, oh, it's for weight loss, right? I lost 6 pounds. 6 pounds is great. 75 days, like some people will say more or less, whatever. Most importantly, I gained a lot of strength. I need to calculate how many marathons I walked because it was 75 days. And some days I walked 10,000 steps. Some days I walked like 14, 15, 17,000 steps, 12. So it was all over the place. I'll calculate it because I'm curious. But I walked a lot of 1,000 steps. When I walked, I gave myself space to be in the moment. And I chose me in those moments, by the way. I had actually in this time different kind of situations come up. Family wanted me to watch TV, a movie with them, but I couldn't. I had to walk my steps. And that was okay in that moment. Later on, by the way, I bought myself a treadmill that is like a pad that you put on the floor. And there were days when I would actually walk in my living room on that pad and watch a movie with my family. And that was really cool. You go for two at once, right? You watch the TV with the family and then you walk. So if anyone needs that, highly recommend. I had a date that I said no to because I needed to actually take care of myself and walk my 10,000 steps that day. And actually, I needed to do more work in my professional setting as well. So I was like, no, today I'm choosing me. I'm going to take care of me, and I'll see this person at another time. I said no to me when I wanted to give up, and I didn't. I said no to myself to give up, and I said yes to continue my challenge. And you know what's interesting also is that in this time frame, I found so many things and I tried so many things. I some of it was in dancing area. I actually ended up going to a dance fitness club or dance fitness class. I'm sorry, not the club, but class. I did the dance in heels class. I found this new program that I love. It's a dopamine steps program where 30 minutes every day you do walking activities. While you're walking, you're also doing different exercise forms of exercise. It's a lot of movement. I walk out super sweaty. It's such a great cardio. 30 minutes targets different parts of my body. I love it. I love that program. I also have learned that I can actually ensure that I prepare my breakfast, lunch, and take it with me to work and have nurturing food instead of spending money at work for food. And this way I always control what goes into my body, and I've done that. I think meditation has been a big one for me. I actually started hearing myself. And you know, when you're so busy with so many things going on in life and you're constantly running like a squirrel, right, and not will, you stop hearing yourself. And sometimes to make the best decision for you in any setting of your life, remove the stress, remove the busy mind. You have to pause and give yourself some space to be. So through meditation, I gave myself space to be, and I started seeing how much more powerful my brain started getting in resilience to stress, in choices I was making for me, in reflections, in analytical space. At work, I started noticing that my brain is a lot more productive, less of those like foggy moments, but very sharp. So it's very interesting. Meditation is such a powerful tool. I also, by the way, have noticed I wear this Oura ring, and it tells me about my sleep, right, and the quality of my sleep. So I actually have recognized that if I did meditation before I went to bed, I would wake up and look at my analysis of my sleep, and the deep sleep would always be over an hour, like an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 20. Sometimes it would be like 59, 55 minutes. It was really high up. When I wouldn't do meditation before I go to sleep, my deep sleep would only be about 30 minutes, 25 minutes, 27, 15. It was very interesting observation that I started noticing. And then I tried it for me, like, okay, let me try again. Like, is this a fluke or is this actually happening? Meditation before sleep, even 10-minute relaxing meditation gets your brain prepared for a wonderful, restorative, good sleep, even if the number of hours is lesser. Some days I would sleep for 5.5, 6 hours, sometimes 6.5. My typical is 6 to 7 hours sleep. But my quality of sleep would be so good. I would be waking up rested. So meditation was powerful for me. With that being said, I also prioritized time with some really great people in my life. I created space for those people. Maybe some thought that I just, was available for them at different times. It was a choice to create space and time for those people. In my professional setting, I have had really great deep conversations with my leader about my development, my future. I have made some decisions that were made out of the brain that is quiet and ready to make a decision versus brain that is busy and struggling to make a decision. So that was really incredible. Accomplished some really amazing things at work as well in that time frame. So with that being said, and plus, like my loved ones, I think what I found is that me prioritizing me did not put them in a place of, Aliona is not available for us, or she's doing this and that, and we're alone, or whatever. I started noticing how my loved ones who were seeing me, prioritizing me every day, they started prioritizing themselves. A little bit of emotions here as well, because to see your family make a choice in nutrition, in movement, even if they're physically having some harder times, and they do it because they see you, choose you, it's powerful. It is really, really powerful. So for me, the 75 days was extremely powerful experience, and I will share that. If you are sitting there and thinking to yourself like, hey, I've made so many promises to myself, but I keep saying, oh, I'm going to start exercising on Monday, or I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to go on a diet, or I'm going to do this or that. Like we are humans, right? We always want to better ourselves for whatever reason. We see something on social media, we think that this is how we should be. Maybe we feel like we're not good enough if we're this, right? So there are different reasons, and we want to change ourselves. What I will recommend is pick a number of days that you're going to commit to. Make it very simple. Choose one activity. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't say to yourself, on Monday, I'm going to start running for an hour. Like if you're not even walking for 15 minutes a day, intentionally creating space to walk for 15 minutes a day, do not promise yourself you're going to run for an hour. You might run for a minute and you will give up and you will not do it again. Your body's not ready for it. Through self-love, find one activity you can do every single day. Even if you say, I'm going to do it for 10 days, I'm going to do it for 25 days, for 30 days, I'm going to do it for 5 days. Whatever that is, choose a number of days and take one activity and say, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes every single day. You know what you're going to find is that if you select something that is simple, easy, you can do it, you believe in yourself, you can do it, and you're going to say, I'm going to walk every day for 5 minutes on my treadmill. And you know what? And then I'm going to count my days and I'm going to do this. 5 minutes on a treadmill does not sound as scary as 1 hour running outside, especially if you live in Washington like I am. There's rain almost every single day. So with that being said, select one thing that you can do every single day. Even if you dedicate a small amount of time to that or small effort, and just do it. When you do it consistently, you're going to find yourself that you are starting to respect yourself more, because that action of discipline produces the dopamine hormone of happiness, that you increase the dopamine, self-respect, self-satisfaction, right? Satisfaction with yourself. And you're going to see that the 10 days and those 5-minute commitment, maybe the first day it was 5 minutes, the next day you do it for 7, the following day you did it for 10. Then the next day you put a podcast on, or you were listening to Aliona share something with you, and you ended up walking for 20 minutes, right? Or you ended up doing something for longer. So do one action every single day for a short period of time, and you're going to see that once you complete that time frame, you're going to have so much respect for yourself. And then you're going to say, you know what? this doesn't seem unattainable. Maybe I try something else. And then you're going to do something else. And by the way, when you do it, please share with me. I would love to hear your stories. I always love to celebrate with people, even the tiny little bits of self improvement, because this life is so big and so beautiful. And if we can improve, they say 1% every day. I say 0.1% every day. Every single day of your life, you just improve tiny, little by little, little by little. You're going to live the most fulfilled life. And that's the number one priority. Live a fulfilled life. And if you need help, I'm here, your coach. I'm here. We're going to work together. We're going to find the areas of your life that you need to shift, or you need a shift for yourself. We're going to work through the how, and we'll make it happen. We'll achieve the results. Because if I believe in you and you believe in you, I mean, there are two of us. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really grateful that you spent all of this time listening to me share about my experience. And I hope that it inspires you for your own future and for what you do for yourself. Sending you lots of love, and I'm here for you if you need me.